Hello, this is Eye on Port, proudly brought to you by West Blue Consulting, Ghana Oil Company Limited and Ghana Community Network Services. Folks, as we have promised, the month of September dedicated strictly to the paperless business that began in the port of Ghana from September 1, the year 2017, as well as the other directives that were issued by His Excellency the Vice President of our Republic. We are engaging the various stakeholders to assess so far how far. We will be talking to His Excellency the Vice President himself in the coming days. In the meantime, we've spoken to the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority. We've spoken to the other agencies, including the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders. We are going to be hearing from Ghana's Ports and Harbours Authority, and Mrs. Esther Jebidonko is going to explain to us how far has the paperless journey been ever since it began in Ghana's ports. In the meantime, though, there is a new kid on the block bringing good news to a lot of people, particularly to government, because this kid is a company called B5+. They have opened or cut sword for a very new steel manufacturing company here in Ghana, and they are saying that they are doing this to create job for the country, enhance the industrialization agenda and drive of government.
B5+ Ghana Limited, a steel manufacturing company that imports tons of iron ore through the ports of TEMA, has undertaken a laudable initiative by constructing a manufacturing plant at Loklenu in the PRAMPRAM district. B5+, with a conglomerate of companies across West Africa and its headquarters in Ghana, is geared to serve the industrial and mining sector with a wide range of iron and steel products. The Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry, Carlos Ahinkra, during a sword-cutting ceremony to commission the new steel factory, expressed confidence that when production commences fully, it would relieve government of the expense in importing steel products into the country.
Even if this company will be able to do, let's say, 50,000 metric tons a year, he has taken that burden off government to go out there and look for dollar or foreign exchange to go and import this product into the country. And for us, that is what we look for as an advantage or an incentive into one district, one factory.
The Chief Executive Officer of B5+, Mike Takwani, said the commissioning of the factory is a demonstration of his company's commitment to supporting the government of Ghana's One District, One Factory initiative.
Really appreciate His Excellency's One District, One Factory policy of our dear President Nana Akufo-Addo. We are in line with that. We look forward that we will receive all the support from the government, from all the other institutions where required to make this project a big success.
He revealed that the company is poised to give employment to 3,000 Ghanaians and contribute tremendously to the revenue of the country. Samson Asaki, Executive Secretary of the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana, expressed pleasure in the opening of the new steel factory and hoped that it would surmount the imbalance export suffers to import in the steel business.
I am happy that in the next few years to come, we will no longer be importing steel into this country, but we will have this edifice produce, package, and even export to other African and beyond, so that we will bring more forests back into this country that can control our city depreciation.
So the commencement of that steel manufacturing company by B5+ at the PRAMPRAM district brings to the number 2 of such factories in that particular district, and they are saying that this is in line with government's One District, One Factory agenda. Let's move away from that one, though we all welcome them because they have been importing a lot out of the ports of Ghana. B5+ contributes so much through the ports of Ghana, so we definitely welcome them. In the meantime, Ghana Revenue Authority says that there are a lot of issues they believe that people are not understanding, from the cargo tracking note, CTN, to the paperless update, to private companies that are providing consultancy to the authority and all of that. So they decided to meet up with journalists in Ghana, very top journalists in Ghana to explain to them some of their activities as well as their vision for this country.
Management of the Ghana Revenue Authority has met with members of the media fraternity to share the vision of the Commissioner General Emmanuel Kofi Nti for the authority dubbed Great One. The encounter was also to discuss new initiatives in GRA and appeal to the media to be true advocates of GRA in facilitating revenue mobilization for the country. The Commissioner General of GRA, Emmanuel Kofi Nti, indicated that the authority is investing heavily in ICT to upgrade the processes of revenue generation.
When it comes to IT, we have fast-tracked our capacity in IT work and IT usage in the work that we do. So technology is key to the work that we are doing now.
According to him, McKinsey, an international consultancy group, has been contracted to bring rare innovations that would match up with the best in Africa to improve tax collection and plug loopholes.
The arrangement with the McKinsey is to help us capture our work and improve on our processes, simplify our processes, and match up with the best, at least in Africa.
Touching on the cargo tracking notes policy, whose implementation is currently suspended to October 15, 2018, the Commissioner of Customs, Isaac Krenso, rejected the notion that the CTN will increase the cost of doing business at the port.
The exporter or the shipper is going to pay only $50 per bill of lading. So if a bill of lading is calling for about more than 20 containers, it takes $50. So if this $50, you share it on the 20 containers, how much that it will be added to increase cost of doing business?
He emphasized that the CTN would come and solve some imbalances in the import process as well as conform to international protocols.
It is to the benefit of this nation that we look at some of these issues because of what is coming ahead in terms of international protocols that we are moving into it. Because we have to know the exact place where the goods originated. We have to know for security reasons items that are coming into these countries. And also for audit purposes to enable us to trade the documents. And then of course statistical purpose.
The Commissioner disclosed that the suspended implementation of the CTN is to give room for more engagements with stakeholders, but not an amendment of the policy.
So engaging journalists regarding the ports and harbors activities in this country has become very, very crucial, because once they understand, the entire citizenry or the public will definitely understand, because they communicate to the public on behalf of those who formulate policies, those who make laws, and all of that. So once again, another major agency when it comes to the port and maritime industry is the Ghana Shippers Authority. They too said it's important to engage the journalists, for which reason they also engage the journalists to explain to them a number of things that are happening within the port and maritime space, and what they expect the journalists to assist that industry to propagate to the public.
The Ghana Shippers Authority, in collaboration with the Ghana Journalists Association, has held a day seminar for journalists in Accra. The seminar is the sixth in a series of maritime seminars organized by the Ghana Shippers Authority towards empowering media practitioners to improve their knowledge in current happenings within the trade and shipping sector. In her welcome address, the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Shippers Authority, Benonita Bismarck, said the commitment of the GSA is to provide a platform for shippers and journalists alike to understand and appreciate the shipping industry. She called for continuous collaboration between the GSA and the GJA in organizing such seminars to whip up the interest of more journalists in the shipping sector.
The authority considers the dissemination of relevant information on shipping related issues to shippers and other stakeholders as very significant in fulfilling its mandate. It has therefore become imperative that media practitioners who are the conveyors of such critical information to the public are regularly empowered through seminars of this nature.
The General Manager, Marketing and Corporate Affairs of GPHA, Esther Jebidonko, charged all stakeholders in the port industry to contribute positively towards improving port business in Ghana.
All the issues that lead to delay in the handling and processing of cargo through the ports contributes in a way to the efficiency of the port. It's a matter of all the stakeholders that have something to do with clearing cargo in the port. As far as documentation processing is concerned,
the Deputy Minister for Transport and Member of Parliament for TEMA East, Daniel Nikwate Titus Glover, stressed on the importance of the maritime sector to Ghana's development, hence the need for capacity building for journalists to equip them in their reportage on the maritime industry.
This seminar is coming at an opportune time where journalists need to abbrace yourselves, because we don't want you to be giving some reportage that when you sit back, you'll be asking questions whether indeed did our people do the right research. He
also touted some benefits that will be derived from the ongoing TEMA port expansion project when completed.
The port expansion is a big national asset that we cannot joke with. By June next year, the first 2 terminals will be operating.
So engaging the general public has become a very crucial assignment for the entire port and maritime community. It's become very important to reach out to the general public, and they believe that they can do so by using mediums that are spearheaded by journalists. So a lot of trainings are going on. Now, some time ago, we began a lot of huge campaign to let the Ghana Journalists Association begin to reward journalists who focus their attention on the port's activities. Fortunately, and I have to doff my hat to the president of the Ghana Journalists Association, Dr. Afilmoni, because he's done so much when it comes to this fight. We approached him and he has finally listened. Journalists are going to be awarded at this year's Ghana Journalists Association Awards. We want to encourage a lot of young professional journalists to be able to report on this sector, and then also let the public be aware of the goings-on within the port and maritime industry.
The Ghana Journalists Association has revealed that an award category has been instituted for maritime journalism in the upcoming Ghana Journalism Awards. This will mean that for the first time in history of the awards, journalists who promote and report on the maritime industry will be awarded. The president of the Ghana Journalists Association, Afilmoni, in an exclusive interview with Eye on Port, expressed that this inclusion has been a long time coming. He said it is essential they consider the important role maritime journalism plays in economic growth of the country.
There's the need more than ever before for journalists to do more in the area of maritime industry, with the hope that the qualitative improvement which this seminar hopes to bring in journalistic output will crystallize into an economic growth.
He encouraged participation of journalists in the maritime sector to help steer the industry forward with effective and incisive reporting.
With the hope that it will motivate more journalists to do more stories in that area. I believe that the more stories journalists do, the more the industry will be exposed.
The GJA president stressed the need for workshops to be organized by maritime players, saying this would inure to the output of journalists who work in the industry.
We expect the donor community. Of course, Ghana Shippers Council has been the first to rally to our support with a sponsorship package. We expect other key players in the industry to come on board.
So that's supposed to be good news and very welcoming news for journalists who report on the ports and maritime business, because this time your efforts are not going to go unnoticed. You are definitely going to go rewarded, because you report and focus your lenses on the port and maritime business. We will continue to encourage all of you young journalists, all of you professional journalists for that matter, to focus on this area. Thanks to the GJA also for coming in with this particular initiative. People, the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority has supported government's agenda of the free SHS to educate every Ghanaian, young or old, by providing them with textbooks, mathematics textbooks. 10,000 of those textbooks have been given to the Ministry of Education to contribute to the education of our young people in this country. It wasn't just the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, they were supported. The Ghana Maritime Authority also donated thousands of the same books to the Ministry of Education, as well as the Ghana Shippers Authority, the Heritage Bank, the National Investment Banks, and a host of other institutions.
The Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority has contributed to boosting the initiative of the government to provide free quality education at the secondary school level in Ghana by donating 10,000 copies of maths textbooks to the Ministry of Education. Other public and private sector agencies like the Ghana Revenue Authority, the Ghana Shippers Authority, the Ghana Maritime Authority, National Investment Bank, Heritage Bank, among others, all donated thousands of the mathematics books to support secondary school education as part of the government's flagship educational policy to provide free education to second cycle schools. The President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, had said that as part of the free SHS program, textbooks, particularly the core ones, be made free. It is in this light that these corporations supported this noble initiative. The Minister of Education, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempre, who graced the ceremony to receive the donation, thanked the corporations for their act of benevolence. He revealed that such contributions to the study of mathematics will go a long way to improve the current fall in the interest of mathematics of senior high school students annually.
The organizations that donated feel better about themselves. These are organizations that consume a lot of mathematics in their daily lives. And we've realized that for years in this country, our maths results are not getting better. There's a need to change the status quo if we want to become economically developed.
He urged other corporate entities to also endeavor to support education sector as it will work into the country's overall benefits.
The first time in over 10 years, we had the president instructed that as part of the free senior high school, textbooks become free. The curricula, the core courses at least.
The Marketing and Corporate Affairs Manager of GPHA, Abna Sewa Opoku-Fosu, said GPHA considers education seriously and its corporate social responsibility, thus embraced the opportunity to support students with textbooks.
Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority concentrates our corporate social responsibility on three main areas: education, health, and the environment. And when we got the letter asking us to support, we thought it was a very good program to be associated with, seeing that the government wants to make free quality education at the secondary level for all children, because literacy is key to the development of our nation.
Ghana Shippers Authority CEO Beneneta Bismarck said her organization donated the books with the aim of supporting the President of Ghana's vision for education.
Being a government agency, we should buy into the President's vision. Hence the reason for the Shippers Authority donating the books to support this laudable program.
Assistant Commissioner Public Relations of GRA added that the authority is investing in the youth so as to develop them into an able labor force in future for the country.
GRA is simply investing in the nation's workforce, trying to make sure that our children in the free SH program are well educated and we churn out people who can contribute meaningfully to the country in the future.
So kudos to all those institutions who are supporting our young kids studying mathematics to build the future of our country. On that note, Eye on Port returns after the break.
Hello. Good morning. This is Samantha Wendy. I am sending a purchase order from SA2 Ventures International. Our policy for new supplies is 2 containers to start with, but you must deliver within 30 days.
Don't worry at all. I'm going to get you the 4 containers within 30 days or less. Bye.
To get his pineapple slices from his country to his clients overseas, Mr. Appiah and his representatives have to complete a number of regulatory compliance procedures to various international trade stakeholders.
Hey, Bama, what's going on? Get it right? I mean, how? Hey!
window, Mr. Appiah has completed all his international trade procedures through one portal. He has registered his company information, applied for the necessary permit, certificates and licenses, and all that remains is for him to get a text alert for clearance and movement of goods. And that's how simple facilitating international trade could be in a single window environment. You can offer competitive services to your trading partners in China, America, even here in a simpler, faster, and cost-effective way. Single window, the only way to Ghana's economic growth is in our hands.
Here's innovation from GOIL that takes you further. New GOIL Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes have been expertly crafted with the latest in liquid engineering technology, highly advanced for modern engines, prolongs oil change intervals, save you fuel, clean, protect and enhance engine performance. The way engines work has become complex, and GOIL has innovated to stay ahead. Expertly crafted lubricants that work excellently with all petrol and diesel engines of today. New GOIL Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. Innovation that takes you further. GOIL. Good energy.
Welcome back from the break. You are still watching Eye on Port, and coming up next, news and activities around the ports and maritime industry. Local next.
The Acting Director General of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Michael Luguje, has promised to work in close collaboration with the security agencies to make the port as secure as possible. Michael Luguje made this known when the various security agencies in the port paid a courtesy call to him.
Our role is cut to be landlords, owners of the port and operators of the port. We don't have the capacity to do security intelligence. And as a result, we acknowledge the contribution of major stakeholders at the National Security Council to help us become the invisible eye and ear of what goes on, what comes in and out of our ports.
He also informed them that the authority is working with the Burkinabés to know all the genuine importers so that the issue of diversions could be curtailed, adding that an effective collaboration will only see Ghana winning at the end of the day. According to the national security, container diversion was at its peak, but when the paperless process started, it has reduced significantly.
But unfortunately for us, we've had some reports of some who deliberately will declare cargo as transit to landlord countries, so customs will not take duty, and once it gets out of the port, they find ways to divert it into Ghana's economy for consumption. Then government loses revenue, and that has become a major source of concern of customs and ourselves.
An official from the Bureau of National Investigations thanked the DG for his unifying approach to doing business. The Joint Port Control requested for a secured yard to do container investigation to avoid the gazing eyes of the public. The General Manager, Marketing and Corporate Affairs of GPHA, Esther J.B. Donko, suggested that vessels caught in bringing contraband goods should be fined heftily to discourage others.
In a related development, the Acting Director General of GPHA, Michael Luguje, has charged staff of the TEMA Port Security Department to work assiduously to block all revenue leakages and increase national revenue. During an engagement with staff of the Security Department, he reminded personnel that one major attraction and advantage GPHA has over other ports in the region is its robust security.
Keep up the good job, because within our own sub-region, our ports, one of our attractions is the security and safety of our ports. And that attraction is what, if you look at all the marketing materials we take out there to talk to customers, we are touting our security record, our safety record.
The Director General also engaged staff of TEMA Port, where he entreated them to continue to execute their task professionally to bring the relief customers desire.
A 12-member advisory committee has been inaugurated by the management of Takoradi Fishing Harbour to help put in place measures that will improve the state of the Takoradi Fishing Harbour. The advisory committee consists of the stakeholders who do business in the fishing harbour. Addressing the advisory committee, the Takoradi Port Personnel and Administration Manager, George Bredu, said the growth of every business depends on the rules and regulations that govern the organization. He added that even though the fishing harbour is open to all, it is the responsibility of its management to ensure that strict measures put in place are adhered to by everybody who visits the harbour. Hence, the formation of the committee who would assist management in enforcing these laws. He emphasized the need for users of the fishing harbour to maintain a very clean and healthy environment and eschew behaviors that could cause food contamination.
Food na oko na oforo danwe na woto weni na wo hwe efi eye baby a ye ma ye nye aduane ehwo ade wo ha esese yitimide nhyehyeba ni nyina ye bwani edi so.
The Takoradi Port Personnel and Administration Manager urged the committee members to also serve as advocates for the stakeholder community by contributing their input with regards to the payment of tariffs.
Say a tour near ma ya beji wa ha any na committee no most of the inputs ebe day ebeba na ya hwemi nyina na fe echi no say GPHA take decision na ya so we no efu say we no so yesi na ya pay good grounds na ya gi bibia nyina ya hu.
He said these arrangements would create a balance between the stakeholder community and management in decision making.
International port news are next.
The Republic of Djibouti has decided to nationalize, with immediate effect, all the shares and corporate rights held by Port de Djibouti in the Dorele Container Terminal Company. As explained, the move was made to protect the fundamental interests of the nation and the legitimate interests of its partners, and to ensure that the situation of DP World-controlled DCT company, which is no longer in charge of the Dorele Container Terminal, since the contract termination aligns with reality. In February 2018, the government of Djibouti terminated the concession for the Dorele Container Terminal, granted in 2006 to DCT. The implementation of this concession contract was severely prejudicial to the fundamental interest of the Republic of Djibouti, to the development of the country, and to the control of its most strategic infrastructure asset. The U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York has reached a decision in the case of the explosion aboard the container ship MSC Flaminia in 2012. According to the court, the fault for the casualty lies with the manufacturer and freight forwarder of a potentially hazardous cargo. On July 14, 2012, as the Flaminia was underway from New Orleans to Antwerp, a cloud of smoke began emerging from Hold 4. The crew treated it as evidence of a container fire and released carbon dioxide to suppress it. When a 7-man team went forward to prepare fire hoses alongside the hatch, an explosion followed. In the aftermath, 3 crew members were killed, 2 were severely injured. The vessel was damaged and most of the cargo containers behind of Hold 4 were destroyed. The Shanghai International Port Group is expected to take management of a new private seaport at Haifa, Israel in 2021, bringing a Chinese presence to one of the region's strategic harbors. The move has been met with fierce resistance from Israeli longshoremen, and according to a new report, it could also have implications for the U.S. Navy's operations in the Eastern Mediterranean. According to comments recently reported by Newsweek, ex-chief of naval operations Admiral Gary Roughhead believes that a Chinese-run port in Haifa would mean that U.S. Navy ships could not regularly call at the Haifa naval base, Israel's largest naval installation. He suggested that the likelihood of Chinese intelligence activity would present an enhanced risk to operational security.
Here's innovation from GOIL that takes you further. New Gold Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes have been expertly crafted with the latest in liquid engineering technology, highly advanced for modern engines, prolongs oil change intervals, save you fuel, clean, protect and enhance engine performance. The way engines work has become complex and GOIL has innovated to stay ahead. Expertly crafted lubricants that work excellently with all petrol and diesel engines of today. New GOIL Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. Innovation that takes you further. GOIL. Good energy.
Schedules of vessels that are sitting in the port, those expected in the coming week. Those are the anchorage, and also the Bank of Ghana exchange rates that you need to clear your goods out of the port are all next on your screens. Next week, the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority says they are 99% paperless. Only 1% left, and they will meet the 100% vision of His Excellency the Vice President to have 100% paperless ports.
As far as we are concerned, we are 99%.
99%?
Yes.
We will be engaging the General Manager for Marketing and Corporate Affairs of Ghana's Ports and Harbours Authority, the lady they call Madame Paperless. She will be punching holes and throwing a lot of lights on the paperless activities within Ghana's ports and maritime industry. Don't forget, last week when we spoke to Customs, they said they are about 98% paperless. GPHA says 99% paperless. We'll hear from them next week. Thank you for watching the program. Also, thanks a lot to the entire crew, particularly the executive producers of the program. Thanks for watching.